Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell in the upper right-hand corner. Follow me on all forms of social media. Check me out at thatdrummerguy.com and enjoy the following presentation.
Let's just pretend nothing happened and move on, shall we?
Well, absolutely. Well, with that in mind, thank you very much for taking the time to be able to do this interview. Being a longtime fan of the band, it's my absolute pleasure to be able to talk to you for the first time and be able to talk about this amazing new album from Grand Magus, Wolf God, which is coming out next Friday through Nuclear Blast.
Yeah. Well, wow. That's great to hear. That's great to hear, man.
Oh, absolutely. So, obviously, with the new album coming out next Friday, how does it feel to finally have this album coming out?
It feels really good. We had a great time making this album, and we have a very good feeling about it. So, it's gratifying to have it finally, completely finished, and it pretty much turned out the way we imagined it, and that's not always the case, but overall there's a really good vibe around it, I think, and we're very pleased with it.
Yeah, and again, from the fan perspective, I just love everything that's going on with this album from start to finish. I just love the overall vibe. I love the lyrical content that's going on there. I mean, it just feels like such a very fresh and inspired record, and it's great to hear that.
Well, thanks. I mean, that's what we were aiming for. We changed some things slightly from the past three albums. During the writing process, we decided to meet up more often and jam together and play the songs, and also to make sure that we really knew the songs before going into the studio, and then we recorded the basic tracks live, bass drums, guitar, so we did whole takes of all the songs, instead of just punching in, playing to an already recorded thing. So I think that had a lot to do with the overall, alive feel of this album.
Yeah, definitely. And with that in mind, I mean, that's going to be a great feeling to be able to change up the recording process. I mean, rather than just going each individual track, just getting that real live experience and just being able to change things up in the studio.
Yeah, exactly. And also you kind of feed off each other when you play together. We're a live band, so we just figured that even though we've been doing this modern type of recording process now for a few albums, we just felt that why should we do that when we are a live band, and it's so much more fun to play together than to first record drums and then spend 2 weeks recording all the guitars. I mean, doing it the way we did now, we did all the work before we went into the studio, so that meant that the whole record took less than 2 weeks to record, which is pretty quick compared to the last album, which took like 2 months to record. So yeah, and that had to be a great feeling too, because by the end of the time that you're done recording, I mean, the songs will still feel more fresh and you're able to enjoy the songs more. Yeah, at the same time, you're kind of shell-shocked because everything went so fast that when it was done, it was like, what did we just do? You kind of, you don't have any, you're not as deep into it, you just do it. And then there's always, how should I put it, when you spend a lot of time recording something, you become so familiar with the songs that you almost get tired of them, and now we didn't. And then you kind of feel, you don't really know what you've done,
So, with that in mind, obviously with being able to record the album in such a way and being able to get it done so fast, did you change anything up personally, like gear-wise, when you were recording?
Not really. The only thing I changed was that for this album I used 2 Flying V guitars, one for all the rhythm guitars and one for all the solos. Whereas in the past I've kind of, for studio stuff, I've mostly been using Gibson Les Paul custom but that's a drummer for you, you know.
Oh, definitely.
The gearheads, all of them. Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, I mean that's so cool though. I mean, being able to like know the gear that you're gonna use rather than feeling like you have to try different things out in the studio to make sure that you get the right tones and everything, and just making everything go right into the studio, and that way you feel so much better about the final product.
Yeah, and also I think since I'm both the lead singer and the guitar player, I've become very meat and potatoes when it comes to gear. You know, I just want something that works, and then you have to really focus on your performance rather than trying to find gear that will make it work. You know, I kind of, you know, I want something that works, that I don't really have to think about, so that I can concentrate entirely on getting the job done, you know. I think if I was only a guitar player, I would definitely be more anal about gear, you know.
Oh, for sure. And speaking of that, obviously with being able to handle both duties in the band, when it came to this new album, how did you approach the lyrical content?
The same way I always have, which is just use my intuition. You know, I've come to realize that all the lyrics are really just a reflection of who I am as a person. You know, all the stuff you've read, all the stuff you've seen, all the movies you've seen, all your fantasies and emotions and stuff like that. That is what comes out. You know, it's not a thought process really. It's more of an emotional process. So the themes are themes because there's something that has always been a part of me, you know. So I don't really analyze it too much. It's pretty much intuition, you know, more than anything else.
Yeah, and that's such a great approach when it comes to it as well. I mean, you can have that emotional attachment to it, and it can also be abstract to the outside listener, you know, considering the style that's going on with it, and just being able to have it from both ways.
Yeah, and also for me, I mean, the reason I got into heavy metal was, you know, the feeling it gave me rather than... you know, heavy metal was never preachy, it was never political, it was never, you know, it's more like art, you know, and that's the way I look at what we do as well. I want, you know, when you sing the word fire over a certain chord, you just get it if you're a metal fan, you know, and many of the songs that I grew up with, there was no explanation to what the song was about, you know, because you already knew instinctively what it was about, you know, because you love heavy metal. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely, and that is such a great reason to be able to do what you love, and especially after all this time with Grand Magus as well. You know, just making sure that you are able to keep that great inspiration going for yourself, making the music that you want to make. Obviously, with the fans being there and knowing what you're capable of, and just being able to be yourself.
Yeah, I think that you're absolutely right, and I think as long as you're honest with what you're doing and it comes from your heart, you know, then it will somehow project to the other people listening to it, you know, and I think that's something that we've always been very upfront with, is that all the albums we've done have been a reflection of where we are as people at that particular point in time, and that's why all the albums are slightly different, you know. But I think, you know, for me, the honest emotional content is what really that's really heavy metal for me, you know, and that's what we always have, you know, really tried to, or what we've done done, really. I mean, for me, there's no other way. I couldn't try and do something that wasn't in my heart musically. You know, it wouldn't be any good.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I mean, some people are able to turn off that side and they're able to cater to a different audience for some reason, but there are other musicians out there who feel like they need to make the music that's going to mean something to them. Like, when they play a note, when they play a riff, when they play a song, it has to mean something to them, and that's why I love Grand Magus so much, is because I feel that with every album.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, that's exactly, you know, that's the ideal situation. I think that when you're able to express yourself and when other people get it and really get into it, you know, that's the ultimate gratification, really.
Oh, I can definitely imagine. And with that in mind, of course, speaking of the heavy metal, you know, just the album cover alone just is pure heavy metal, and I love the style that's going on with it, and it perfectly matches the album. How did you go about deciding on this as the album cover?
Well, I mean, this is the third album in a row that it's an American guy actually called Anthony Roberts that we got to know through our manager, and he just has a style that really fits our music, and he's also got an imagination that pretty much runs along the same lines as us, I think. And for me, it's just he's been a really good somehow interpreter of what we do, and we have a really good communication when it comes to the art and stuff like that. So it's just a very good match, I think, with our music, and yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And when I think back to the last couple albums and, you know, seeing how they really match the album, I mean, again, like I'm looking right now at the Wolf God album cover, and it just tonally, it fits so perfectly with the album, and it's great when you're able to find that visual representation to really match the album.
Yeah, and also that's also something that I've always, it's been a big part for me with metal albums, that, you know, you have to have album artwork that also projects the emotion. You know, I really hate crappy album art, or, I mean, it can be crappy, it can be badly done, but as long as it's honest and as long as it's real somehow, you know. What I can't stand is you know, lazy stuff when you just, we play this type of music, so we need an album cover like this, and we don't really care. Fuck it, you know, and it turns up looking like everyone else's, you know. That's, to me, you know, that really turns me off, you know. Why would you want to listen to something that looks like everything else, you know?
Oh, yeah. And again, that's another reason why I love and respect Grand Magus so much, is because of that passion I can hear with every album, and, you know, whether it's the visual representation with the album cover, whether it's the songs, the lyrics, and the live representation as well. I mean, being out there and wanting to play every show that you're doing, going out there and writing every song that you want to write, and just making sure the band is what you want it to be.
Yeah, I guess, you know, that's the way it turned out, and I mean, I don't have any desire to do any solo projects or anything like that, because this is, musically, we have always done exactly what we want to do. No one has ever tried to steer us in any other direction than our own, you know, and I guess that's something to be proud of. You know, mind you, we haven't gotten rich doing that, but we can always say that we never compromised, at least, you know.
And you can be happy with the material that you're writing as well, too, because it's what you want it to be.
Yeah, well, you know, but also, I mean, absolutely, but I mean, the creative process or whatever is always difficult. It's not like everything is like carved in stone from the beginning, you know. So, I mean, usually every time when we start doing a new album, it usually takes like 2 months before, 2 months of total despair when you think that, how am I ever going to be able to write anything that anyone else wants to hear, So, but after a while, you kind of open that first door, and after that, things kind of just start to flow, but 2 months of agony at least.
Well, I can definitely say when it comes to Wolf God and every other Grand Magus album up to this date, it's just like there is that despair and there's negative feelings that go into writing. Being a musician myself, I absolutely feel that. But once you are able to get past that point and you are able to get those that creativity and inspiration rolling and you're able to go along with it, I mean, especially with something like now, if you're able to go back and listen to something like Wolf God and be happy with what you've done, all of that was worth it.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So, again, with that said, of course, with Wolf God coming out next Friday through Nuclear Blast and hyping up the album now, what's going to be going on after the release of the album?
Well, this summer, there's, in Europe we have all these metal festivals, so we're going to do, I think, 7 or so festivals this summer, and then we will do something that we've never done before. And that's all I can say, really, because I have a leash on me not to talk about it, but I can say that next week there will be some news regarding this. So keep your eyes and ears peeled.
Well, I'm definitely excited for whatever that news could be. I'll definitely be looking forward to that, and it'd be, no matter what it is, I'll definitely be looking forward to what that news is. I mean, especially with such a great album like Wolf God, whatever you guys do to promote that album, I just know it's going to be a great thing.
Cool. Thanks, man.
Not a problem. And I think with that news coming up next week, I think that's a great note to end on. And thank you very much for taking this time to be able to talk to me about everything going on with Grand Magus. And of course, the brand new album Wolf God coming out next Friday through Nuclear Blast. I absolutely love this album, and I know by the end of the year it's still going to be one of my favorite albums of 2019, and it was an honor to be able to talk to you.
Thanks, man. My pleasure.
Before we wrap things up, is there anything else you'd like to mention that I haven't brought up yet?
No, not really. Like I said, big news coming next week.